Right, we're on. Today we're talking impact, Ben Hogan's impact. So we're going to talk about what Hogan does with his left hand, coming into impact, at impact and post-impact. From this we can learn loads. We can learn what our left hand must do, or what it's preferably should not do, I guess, what's recommended not to do from Hogan's book, and it's going to improve our strike. If we can nail these Hogan lessons together, and certainly what happens through impact, if we can get into that impact position or very, very close to it, we're going to improve our golf dramatically. And let's be honest, who doesn't want that? So I've set up my swing plane. Our plane, we swing on a plane. If my hands here are vertical, they tilt back, and this board here between white cane and red cane, if this was an imaginary board or pane of glass and it sits back at an angle, that is a plane between the vertical and the horizontal, and my club swings up that, hit ball and back up that. That is my swing plane. I don't want to come inside the plane, I don't want to go over the plane, I want to try and make sure I keep the club as relatively on that plane as I possibly can for the most chance, or the best chance of good strike. And it was okay, so I've got a point of reference there. Now, Ben Hogan, with his weaker grip, elbows tucked in, right elbow set, takes the club back, hands behind right shoulder at the top of his swing. Good. Now as Hogan came down towards impact, as he came down here, the body opening up, his club face was very open because of his weak grip. So from there he could aggressively turn the body to square the face up. Now that aggressive turning of the body, as I mentioned in Eureka Golf Swing when I aim left, the aggressive turning of the left hip to start the downswing, club face open there, and then as Hogan comes into impact, he is able to square the face up using his hips. So his hips basically square the face up. Now, the important thing there, the point of contact Hogan has with the golf club is obviously his hands. Now the left hand, as mentioned, these three fingers being the pressure point, his left hand at impact, the bone of his left wrist is closer to the target than the back of his left hand. The bone of his left wrist is closer to target than the back of his left hand. What does that do? Bone, back of left hand, forward shaft lean, takes loft off the golf club, compression. Weak grip, elbows, down into impact, body opens up. Body opening up from an open club face here, body opens, and then at impact there, you'll see at impact, Mr. Hogan's bone on his left wrist was closer to the target than the back of his left hand. And that position there, with the bone closer, you can see puts the shaft leaning forward and takes loft off the golf club. That's where Hogan got compression from, was getting the left wrist ahead of the back of the left hand. So therefore, the left palm points more up towards the sky. So that's called supination. So the left hand is effectively in this position, just a fraction. So many people have got that wrong. They think the left palm is pointing miles up to the sky. It's not, it's just a fraction, just enough to make sure the left wrist bone is ahead of the back of the left hand, which is only that amount, that at impact. Just that small motion is there. So he comes through, comes down, 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 he's there, just a little bit there. And then if I open my hand up, you can see it points slightly to the sky. It's not pointing level, it's not pointing down, it's just slightly supinated. And then the hand continues, and the back of the left hand, the flat back of the left hand rides up the plane, which is the important part that we're about to get to, post-impact Hogan. I don't even know how we've got here now. So I've placed an extra cane here because I'm shooting back into the sunlight, so that would be very dark if I went over there. So Hogan post-impact, so we're good to there. Left wrist is ahead of the back of left hand towards impact. Ball turf, body is opening up. As the body opens up and continues, the back of the left hand then continues to supinate. So continues to supinate up there, and the back of the left hand goes up the plane. Now that's called swivel action. So it's a swivel action through impact. The back of the left hand rides up the plane. Now if the back of the left hand, if the back of the left hand does not adhere to that, we've got a serious problem. If you've got a really strong grip, so your left hand's way around the golf club, away from target, then we've got big issues going on there, because the back of the left hand is going to smash into that plane. Therefore the club face is going to be a lot more closed and you're going to hit the ball left all day long. So the weaker grip in here, there, back of the left hand comes up and traces the plane all the way. Back of the left hand sits nicely on the plane to here before we continue up. So back of left hand goes up the plane line. Now what makes that happen? The opening of the body makes that happen. If you stand with your feet open like Eureka Golf Swing with shoulders square, you've got more chance of the left hip starting the downswing. Then from there, you can ride the back of the left hand up the plane. So the hips work first, and the back of the left hand rides up the plane. Now if your grip's too strong, so your left hand's round this way, foot joy pointing up the way, instead of, as Hogan said, back of left hand to target, there, now we've got a serious problem because at impact your face is going to be here. Strong grip, come into impact, there. Now Hogan never wanted the right hand to pass the left aggressively. He never wanted that. You can see now that the left wrist is too cupped. So that there is never riding up the plane because of the position it's in. It's going to knock the door, it's not riding up the plane. And Hogan never wanted that feeling of the right hand being above the left. He always felt as though the right hand was below the left, so the left hand was the higher of the two. So he would come into impact, there, and then he would feel as though the right hand's always lower. Left hand supinated to the sky, but right hand's always lower, and that was a feeling. I believe that was more just a feeling as opposed to an actual action, but that's how Hogan felt it. He felt as though left hand led the right, so the left hand was supinated and therefore the right hand felt lower than the left. He never wanted the right hand to be high. So he never wanted the right hand to be high because then the back of the left hand's off plane. So is there a way we can feel the left hand riding up the plane? Of course we can. Grip halfway down, bottom of the grip, halfway between grip and the steel. Take your address position. Back of left hand there is on plane. Look, it's on plane with the white cane. Then the way down, as we come down, let the butt end rotate over so the back of left hand goes on plane again. There we go. We can feel the release of the club. And there the back of the left hand's riding up the plane. There the back of the left hand's on the plane. There, there, there. Hard to do if you don't open the body up. If I take my canes, which are obviously being used, but I'll use clubs just as a visual, for the Eureka Golf Swing, shoulder alignment, club path, feet alignment. If I open my feet up to the bottom shaft there, take my weaker Hogan grip, good. Back of the left hand, right elbow in, elbows set, back of the left hand goes up the plane, right elbow tucked in, hands behind the shoulder, Hogan style. Then from there the left hip opens up to the feet line. Opens up to the feet line, you can see how the club face is still open, square, closed. Club face is still open, and then from there I can continue going through, and then the back of the left wrist, all going well, all things considered, should ride back up the plane because the body's opened up. There, passive wrists through impact. Swivel action, that feeling there. Swivel action, not right hand getting high in this because I've cupped my wrist. If I cup my wrist this way, it's never going to ride up, face is going to be open. There, too much right hand, cups it the opposite way. Eureka Golf Swing and Hogan, left wrist, back of left wrist, on the plane, down into impact because the body's opened up to the feet line, and then the back of the left wrist continues through up the plane. There you go, good there. It's good, look at the left wrist, close to the plane. It's past where it should be, so it will start to cup. As you follow through and get to your finished position, Mr. Hogan says your left wrist is cupped just as much as your right wrist is bowed. So you get past the plane bit and then of course it releases itself. Here we go again. Hogan, weak grip. Good, weak grip, up the plane, body opens up like Eureka, left hip starts to downswing, face is open the way down, but it's okay, I keep turning, therefore my wrist bone leads the back of the left hand, and then I can ride up the plane, good to go. Oh, it was lovely. And again, left wrist, trying to keep it on plane. Really enjoying that. One more. Left wrist on plane, right elbow tucked in, hands behind right shoulder, hips open to feet line, Eureka style. Left wrist bone is ahead of the back of the left hand. If I keep turning, my left wrist will go back up the plane. So through impact, the hands and wrists are much more passive, much more structured, like Ben Hogan. Okay, I've come down the line, or face on, up the line. I'm not too sure how dark this screen's going to be, but I'll try and lighten the screen for you because of the sun being behind me there. So Hogan, good. There, good. Hips open to feet line. Left wrist bone is ahead of the back of the left hand through impact. Then from there, the back of the left wrist continues to ride up the plane, like so. Look at the hips, leading the back, leading the wrist bone, leading the back of the left hand, leading the shaft up the plane. Again, the feeling of that, small motions, back of left hand, hard to do. I can flip easily if the body stops. The body stops, look at that, there's on plane. That's no good, lift that up, cupped, go. Good, one more. There. There. Back of left hand on plane. Rewind, it was on plane. Supination through impact. Good stuff, eh? So there we go, hope you enjoyed that. Bringing Hogan's book to life. It's good to see it in colour and see how the actions actually work. It's much harder to read it in text, but certainly if somebody puts it in video format, then we can all get a share of the magic. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video, but before you do that, please subscribe to my channel. Much appreciated, and thanks again. Bye bye.